Okay, what's going on? Um, it's been a long time coming. I've just been having a lot on my mind, and I finally wanted to come out and announce something to my friends, my family, and my loved one, and special people in my life. I've been holding it back for a lot of years now. Been feeling some type of way, and I just wanted to finally come out and let the world know that when it comes to my sexual orientation, I'm a heterosexual male. There, I said it. I'm a heterosexual male. Take it for whatever it is. Um, this was my attempt at being humor because when people come out and say they're gay, I'd be like, it's not my business. But now that I have your undivided attention, I wanted to talk about some things that have been going on in the world and things that have been bothering me. And I don't want to say the world specifically. What I'm talking about is the United States of America, specifically Ferguson, Illinois. Of course, we know by now that Michael Brown is dead. Um, that the gentleman who killed him is was exonerated. Um, Darren Wilson, and there's a few things that bother me about this, and I'm gonna go ahead and speak on it now. Like I said, while I have your time, um, Rodney King comes to my mind. I was in Okinawa, Japan, doing the Rodney King incident and the Rodney King trial, and I remember a truck driver, and for those of you that watch YouTube and watch Facebook, y'all should have seen the video about the driver that was in the SUV that was just running over people, vehicles being shaken. I can remember a truck driver. I want to think his name was Reginald Denny. How he was driving a truck and rioters. Um, he stopped his truck. I ain't gonna say the rioter stopped because this dude was driving a semi. He stopped his truck, was snatched out of his truck, was beaten down, and I can remember a young black male kicking him in the head and then holding his hand up in the air like it was good. The field goal attempt was good, and I said, "Wow." Um, so am I supposed to feel bad because this dude, whoever was driving this SUV, said, "Man, I'm getting the hell up out of here"? No, I don't feel bad at all. What I do feel about is Michael Brown's murder, and I touch upon the Rodney King incident because we're talking pretty much the same thing. We're talking about, except Rodney King lived, we're talking about black men being killed and their killer, whether it's a law enforcement official or whether it's someone else acting as though they're law enforcement, being being exonerated, getting off scot free. There's two thoughts of that come to my mind. I can remember in 1994 uh, where I was outside the Walmart in Tallahassee, and and I was parked illegally in a fire zone, and I stepped inside of the Winn Dixie to go get something to eat or whatever. And coming back out, and they were towing, getting ready to tow my car, and I can remember. Now let me stand up for a second. This is me right now, 5'8", 215. At the time, I was 5'8", 170. Uh, Two gentlemen were pulling up my truck, were towing my car. A white gentleman who was about 6'4", 250, 270 easily, and another white male who may have been 5'10", 170. Long story short, I had a conversation with him. I was begging, pleading with him, saying, trying to reason with him, please don't tow the car. But in the midst of me doing that, 5 TPD, Tallahassee Police Department, blue and whites pulled up. And they got out their car with their hands on their guns, ready to shoot. Now, I don't know what was told to dispatch, and I don't know what dispatch told the police officers, but these gentlemen exited their vehicle ready for whatever. Mind you, I had on some shorts, denim shorts, and you know how tight the shorts was back in '94 in comparison to what they are now. I've never believed in sagging. I had on some gray slippers. That's what I was. That's what I had. But these guys came out the car ready to shoot. And I can remember the police officer saying, "Shut up and get on the ground." And I said, "Man," I said, "Shut up and get on the ground." I was like, "Man, that's some bull." I shut up and I got on the ground. Did I feel like there did not need to be that many police officers? Yes, I did. Did I feel like there was no need for the hostility? Yes, I did. But what I was remembering was, bing, 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 Rodney King, Rodney King, Rodney King. We're not about to have another Rodney King incident. I'm stone cold sober, but what they gonna tell them? In my history, I've read the stories about black males, black men, black women, black children being killed by law enforcement. So I ain't trying to be the next one. I want to complain. I can complain later. Yes, Tallahassee Police Department. Yes, y'all overreacted in that particular instance. Now I don't really care who knows, uh, but you have to know who you're dealing with. You have to know the history of what's going on with us as African American male. And I know some of y'all don't consider yourselves African American. You don't consider yourselves black. Some of y'all consider yourselves a new black. Well, honestly speaking, when the police get out the car, guess what? You just another nigga. Probably the same thing that you've been calling yourself out in the streets with pride and everything like that. To them, you are another nigga, and you are a dangerous nigga. What you want to hope for is that there's a brother out there that's wearing the same uniform as they are, who will see you as something else, and he's not a sellout. And when I say sellout, he hasn't become jaded to the system. Because what happens when police officers are on, they've been a part of law enforcement for so long, they become jaded. Everybody becomes guilty until proven innocent, even though we know the legal system says you're innocent until proven guilty, because they've been on law enforcement for so long and they've dealt with usually more bad people than good people. When they see you, you're guilty until proven innocent. Now, I'm not saying we have to change how we react to the situation, but don't resist. And I'm not saying that's what Michael Brown did. What I'm saying is don't resist, so you can live to tell the story another day. You can't tell the story from your grave. You can't say the police officers treated you wrong from your grave. And if you understand the history of our race when dealing with law enforcement, you know law enforcement don't really care about us like that. To us, to them, we're just another statistic, and you don't want to be that particular statistic. If you want to be the statistic, be the one that got arrested. Don't be the one that got killed, because they're not gonna say they wrong. Nobody's gonna come out and speak against them as far as another law enforcement official. As far as they're concerned, they did the right job. Now I'm gonna tell you, I know why Darren Wilson was wrong. I went to the law enforcement academy. They teach you to take body shots, not head shots. And one shot normally suffices. You don't need all that. So this dude, them trying to say Michael Brown was a danger. First of all, if you get out and do your job and Michael Brown wants to resist, man, let's call for backup. We know how to get this cat on the ground. Call for backup, get him locked up, and let's get him up out of here. That boy shouldn't be dead at all. But now I digress, because I'm going to move on to some of y'all riders out there. Y'all riding there for what? You don't know how to come together as people, but you want to riot. You riding for what? And some of y'all that's out there riding, let the truth be known, don't even know who Mike Brown is. I know for a fact, because I spoke to a couple of young ladies a while back, and they had no idea who the brother was. Didn't even know the brother was dead. Didn't even know the situation, circumstances surrounding his murder. And they got sons. Two young black women that have sons that don't even know what's going on in this particular instance. Man, that's crazy. That's utter lunacy. But then y'all want to run around here. Some of y'all want to act tough and everything like this. Oh, nigga this, nigga that, nigga that. Look, when the police pull up, 5-0 pull up on the scene, man, he ain't got no love for you. This is when you need to act like you got some sense. You can be around your boys and act ignorant all day long. But when 5-0 pull up on the scene and he suspects you of doing something, now you need to be that young educated brother that he does not think you're capable of being. Because that young educated brother is going to be the one to get your ass home. Because the dude that's pulling up out the car, that's got the badge on his chest, don't care nothing about you. Don't care nothing about you. Now that I done said this, I'm going to speak on it on this. Some of y'all out here on Facebook, y'all so-called conservatives that want to talk about Barack Obama and everything like that, y'all got a whole lot to say every time this cat say something wrong. But it's amazing to me how I never see y'all pop up on Facebook when another young black male that got killed. Let y'all tell it that it's always the young black male's fault. Let y'all tell it we never know the situation. Well, here's the situation. The kid wasn't armed. Why is he dead? You more concerned about the president walking around here saluting with a cup of coffee in his hand, or about his daughters acting like they bored at a Thanksgiving dinner and everything like that. That's what you pissed off about. You pissed off about that, but you ain't got nothing to say about another young black male being killed by law enforcement. That's crazy. Where the hell are your priorities at? We love to say we one country and everything like that, but y'all got the game twisted. I don't even want to hear nothing from y'all about the president, because next time I see one of y'all post something negative about the president on Facebook, I'm going to ask you about Mike Brown. I'm going to ask you about Trayvon Martin. Because you were conspicuously absent doing all this stuff that was going on. You didn't want to post in. You kept your comments to yourself. You stayed silent. Well, silence is consent. That's right. When a woman get raped and you say absolutely nothing and you know she got raped, guess what? You're condoning the rape. You don't speak out on it, you're condoning it. So when you see something going on and you don't speak out on it, you're condoning it. Some of y'all are parents, but I guess what you saying is, oh, my child will never be in a situation like that. You don't know that. You want to assume your child not going to be caught up on it because your child just happened to be white? Or because you stay in some type of rich neighborhood? You don't know that. Your child be the next victim. And now you're like, oh, now your child another statistic. Or now you want to come out and speak. You should have said something before then. If we all one people and we call ourselves supposed to be Christians and everything like that, as soon as something like this happens, we need to stand up, we need to come together, and we need to speak out on it instead of acting like we ain't got good sense. Instead of we acting like it don't bother us. I'm concerned about the president. I'm concerned about how we ain't got jobs. I'm concerned about how he carrying himself. Man, stop it. Just stop it. It's more serious issues going on in the world today than whether or not you like Barack Obama. I really don't give a damn. I don't care. So I'm just putting you people on notice right now. Now I'm gonna take another step. Y'all want to sit around here and y'all want to watch reality television. It used to be said that art imitates life. Now, life is starting to imitate art. You want to be the baddest bitch. You want to be a real nigga. Where they get you at the end of the day? At the end of the day, what is being a bad bitch or being a real nigga get you? Just think about what you're saying. I want to be a real nigga and I want to be the baddest bitch. At the end of the day, what does it get you? But then on the opposite side of that spectrum, I'm going to speak about so-called Christians and their ability to be very judgmental. When we all know, it says in the good book, thou shalt not judge. I mean, it ain't your right to judge somebody, but yet you feel as though it is your right to judge somebody. I'm going to tell you like this. I'm a spiritual person. I don't look down on anybody because of their religious preference. The only thing that matters to me at the end of the day is if you treat your fellow man with the same respect that you want yourself. That's whether you're practicing Muslim or practicing Buddhist or practicing Christian, non-denominational, it does not matter. Stop thinking you better than somebody else because you have a particular religious preference in mind. It does not make you better than somebody else. Matter of fact, to be perfectly honest, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as your fellow man, you're still not better than anybody else, because what you're doing what God called you down to do. And that's take care of your fellow man. Love thy neighbor. Honor thy mother and thy father. That's what it's about at the end of the day. You get caught up in all this other foolishness, man, it's a lot of y'all need to get it together. It's a lot of y'all need to get it together. And don't get me wrong, I got my own issues that I'm working on, so I'm far from perfect. But what I do know at the end of the day, I know some things, and I'm going to wrap it up in a nutshell just like this. I know I'm an African-American male. I know my history starts as a person before we got over here to America. My history starts prior to that. I also know that since I've been over here in this country, my race of people have been over here in this country, we have been wrongfully persecuted, raped, murdered, and slandered by people calling themselves to be Christian, as well as people who call themselves to be law enforcement individuals. You need to understand something about law enforcement. Just act like you have gay and lesbians and bullies in the real world. Guess what? You got gay, lesbian, and bullies in law enforcement. Just like you got racists in the real world, you have racist people in law enforcement. So you so-called police officials need to get it together and maybe look at your profile on the people that you have working for you and understand these people that are working for you, they're not always innocent. Sometimes they are guilty. They are guilty, 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 guilty. And until society changes and we start realizing that, there's going to be another Michael Brown next year. There's going to be another Trayvon Martin next year. There's going to be another Rodney King next year. African Americans, when they roll up out the car, if you don't know your legal rights, and you can't spout them verbatim, that ain't the time to be no real nigga. That ain't no time to be the baddest bitch. That's the time for you to act like you got some sense and realize what you want to do is you want to go home. You can be the baddest bitch later on. You can be the realest nigga later on. But at that point in time, it's time for you to be very educated so you can go home safe and sound. Because as Chris Brown say, these hoes ain't loyal. Law enforcement ain't loyal. They don't care nothing about that. Don't give them an excuse. Give them a reason. Hell, half the time, most of the time, if not all the time, they don't need one. That's how I feel about the situation. I'm 100% heterosexual male. Uh, you don't need to tell me that you're gay. You don't need to come out anymore. 9 times out of 10, I done already probably figured out that you're gay, and it is what it is. All I care is what you do from your 9 to 5 job. I don't care what you do after hours because it don't affect me one way or the other. So stop telling me that you're gay. I ain't telling you that I'm heterosexual. Just stop it. I don't need to know that. I'm out. Long story short, let's come together. Let's start practicing what we preach. Stop hiding behind the badge. You police chiefs, start holding your people accountable. Black folks, let's become more educated. I'm out. I love y'all. Want to see you, not talk about you. Peace.